Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Dragon Trigger 504. Uh, I would first like to apologize for the quality on my webcam for my laptop, but it's the only thing I got working for me right now. So you guys just gonna have to bear with it until I get another one. I'm probably gonna get one later on this year. Hopefully, I can you know come up with the money to get it, but Uh, things are going good. Things are going good for me. Sorry sorry it took me so long to make another video. I've been pretty busy with myself, but other than that, everything's good. Now, as for the video for the day, I'm gonna be talking about the one, the only RWBY. Yes, the web series RWBY that pretty much took it off by storm, uh, created by Monty Ohm with the help of Rooster Teeth. And before I get too deep into this video, I want to say, uh, Rooster Teeth, you guys are practically the most amazing people that I've ever seen in my life. Like if I were standing right in the same room as you guys, I would geek out. I would be honest with you. I would geek out. I would geek out honestly. And I would be it would be such an honor to meet you guys. uh and I know it's probably hard for you guys to actually um I'm trying to find the right words for it. Sorry. uh are a little, you know not feeling the same as you were before when Monty Ohm was alive, uh who recently died last year, the 1st of February, mind you. Um, it was probably it was probably sad day for you guys because I've seen the videos of you guys, and you guys are practically family. And seeing one of your best friends, your inspiration, your brother, basically just pass away the way he did, it was pretty heartbreaking. I mean, um, it was heartbreaking for everyone because last year that month was pretty hard. I'm pretty sure he was probably fighting so hard to wake up from that coma that he had, but for some reason he just couldn't hold on to it anymore, I guess. It's sad, but it is what it is. Um, and it was especially personally hard for me as well because last year the very next day, uh, I lost another good person in my life, my cousin really. And he's basically the only family member that to actually on my dad's side to actually call and check up on me. uh, and I took that pretty hard as well. Uh, but as you can see, I kept on moving, and so have you guys, especially with the fact that you guys did volume 3, which was awesome. I mean, and but we'll get to volume 3 later. But I just want to say I think you guys are like the strongest people in the world, and I look forward to what you do with Monty's great work that he's done over the past few years. And I hope I'll continue to look forward to more of the series of Red versus Blue as well, if you guys are still doing it. Um, but let's get into the video real quick. All right. So, so for this video, I'm just going to be breaking it down to 3 parts. I'm going to be talking about volume 1 for this video. The next video we'll be talking about Volume 2 and my thoughts on that, and the most recent video for Volume 3, which will be the third part. So, you know, 1, 2, 3. So that's gonna be very. So let's get this started. All right. So Volume 1 is when we first got introduced to everyone in the team. You know, there's Ruby Rose, uh, the spunky, giggly little warrior that basically everyone wants to adopt. And then you have uh, Weiss Shani, one of the basically the ice queen of the team. She's you know, one of them preppy schoolgirls that everyone just wants to beat up. But you know, fall in love with her. But then when you realize she's a bitch, yeah, it's time for that ass whooping. And then we have Blake, who's, you know, the emo of the team, uh, who's basically shrouded in mystery because, you know, wearing black, obviously. But you know, she's cute. She's one of my favorite characters in the show. Uh, uh, and then we have Yang, who was the latest intro to the routine. Sorry about the, you know, neighborhood kids. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, and then there's Yang, the thrill seeker, uh, the hot thrill seeker. Basically every fanboy's crush in the RWBY series. Uh, and yo, she laid them hands on you, yo. She goes in. Don't pull her hair though. That's a no no. If you really want to fight her, do not pull her hair. She will fuck you up. All right, and also we got introduced to some of the other characters in the series, like John Arc, who is, you know, he's the typical knight but nerd, but they take it to like a nerdy level because the guy's got motion sickness, and he is just can't do. He's not like the best fighter in the entire series, but you know. And then we have Pura Nikos, who is like this world-renowned fighter, and she's hot. She's a redhead. Thank you. And after them, we have Lai Ren, who was voiced by Monty Oum, you know, before he died, and you know, he's like the ninja of Team Juniper. That's what I meant to mention, because Team Juniper. Uh, and last but not least, one of my favorite females with comedic relief is Nora Valkyrie. She is just too adorable. I love her. Like her spunky attitude, and the fact that, like, you know, she just brings a smile to everyone's face because she's so out there, and that's what I love about her. And not only that, we get to meet Glinda Goodwitch and Ozpin, And you know, Ozpin seems like a pretty cool character. I don't even Good Witch. I really wasn't feeling her all that much because you know she kind of came off. I just got this like this huge mean teacher vibe off her, and I'm like, yeah, no. And who else? Oh yeah, we get to meet Professor Port, who's also a huntsman, teacher of Beacon, and not only that, we meet Dr. Uplik, who's like this hyperactive, green-haired, drinking coffee type of guy, who's basically just zooming around the room, uh, and you know, that's basically it about him. uh, so basically, we don't really get like much detail into the Ruby gang. Well, in the story, we get a few good scenes here and there. We also get to meet like other characters like Sun, who is basically a faunus, and also you know uh, faunus are like these half human, half animals type deal. Uh, they're like they're bodily shoot not bodily um uh shoot physically. Thank you for your patience. Physically they look human, but you know some attributes on them they have, like you know, either a tail or like ears, uh like this character Velvet, who is part of Team Coffee and one of the junior members, junior students of Beacon. I think she's a junior. I think she's a junior. And then we meet Sun, who's from Vacuo, which we don't really know until like you know the next part of the series. Uh, Even though I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But and then we also meet the adorable Penny, who is like very cool. Like she's like really one of the happy-go-lucky characters in the entire series, next to Ruby, obviously, because you can tell that they have this like basically the same personality per se, and I thought that was like just the coolest thing how they just got along like that, and you know that's basically most of it. Uh, but anyway, we also meet one of the villains that's in the series. His name is Torchwick, Roman Torchwick, and he's like this swaggy, uh, don't give a fuck about anybody, don't give a fuck about anything but mine. And you know, he was like one of the coolest bad guys to you would ever meet in this show. So that's basically like all the characters and whatnot. Now for the story of it all. Uh, Not much is said really, but according to the story, like you know, everything became came from like you know from like you know how Earth, Earth and or whatever the world of Renman was created. Because first there was Grim, who existed first before the humans and faunas of the world. And like by some miracle, the show is well, the world grew. Well, the humans created this power called dust, and dust is like one of the like elemental stuff and all that, and it doesn't really explain like what the grim are, but they take the forms of like animals. Like we don't really know much about the grim other than like they're like these monsters that you just gotta beat because they reign terror throughout the entire world of Renman. And it's up to the huntsmen and huntresses to take them out. And and that's basically it about the world of Renman. Now for the teams. Now, when Team Ruby was formed, they had it pretty okay, except for Weiss, who was really not happy with the fact that she wasn't the leader, but Ruby was, and that kind of took their relationship a bit on a iffy terms, but they were on iffy terms to begin with because basically it was Weiss's fault because she was just arguing with Ruby and like holding a dust ball, and some of the dust bottle particles just came out, and then all of a sudden it just got into Ruby's nose, and then she exploded, which is by far one of my favorite scenes of all time. But uh, that's what basically it is, and they got along like after Weiss talked to Professor Port, and like everyone knows, she's like this spoiled little rich kid who got everything that she wanted, and you learn a lot about Weiss like later on in the volume, like the fact that her father, her father's company, the Shanique company, is like probably one of the most not as corrupted, but it's like in the moral gray area as she put it, and it's like very questionable on on the family's choices and whatnot, and and how she's had a very difficult childhood thanks to the White Fang of the series. And I'm gonna tell you about the White Fang. The White Fang are a group of faunuses that are basically like basically the mutants of Remnant. Because when I see the White Fang, I see them as like the brotherhood of mutants, like in the X-Men series, and because discrimination and hate, like especially for that's a reference for us, like for the black community, because we were hated for what we look like, for the color of our skin, and basically it's basically the same thing for the faunists, because they're being tormented for something that just came to them naturally, and that took they gave me a real X-Men feel for it, because it's just so relatable, and because we would probably do anything to get what we wanted out of it anyway. And but that's basically the issue there. So now we get to Blake, who was once a member of the White Fang, and she was part of it for a really long time since her childhood, and she was like down with them and everything until like she just couldn't take it anymore, which is why she left in the first place. And that's pretty much it. And now we get to Torchwick, who's basically like the one of the main bad guys of the series, and he's actually working with the White Fang on this one, and he's collecting dust from every dust shop in the country for some really really bad reason. We don't know why. We don't know why yet until Volume 2. But that's basically it for this. There's nothing really more I could say about it. But other than that, the show is awesome. The fight scenes was just amazing, especially the one with the Nevermore. That was awesome. I love and that was awesome. And the fight between Torchwick, the White Fang, Sun, and Blake. Those were all really good fight scenes, especially with Penny, who surprised the hell out of everyone because she is a fucking beast. She is a fucking beast. And then Sun took us by surprise too because his weapon is a fucking staff, shotgun, and nunchucks. That is like the coolest weapon ever, and that's what basically what everyone loves about RWBY because it's so unique in its own right. Because guns into almost every weapon, dude. The possibilities, the possibilities, dude. Like I'm not gonna front, and but uh I would say more, but I'm a little over the limit right now. Uh, Way over the limit. But this is basically it. I'm gonna get into Volume 2 like right away. So don't touch that dial. Dragon Trail will be right back after these messages.